Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at a game called Street Fighter, and this was created by Capcom in 1987. And yes, this is the original Street Fighter, not Street Fighter 2 as everybody's more familiar with. No, this is the original. This had two different types of control panels. One had a 6-button layout for like weak punch, medium punch, strong punch, weak kick, strong kick, or medium kick, strong kick, like people are familiar with in fighting games. But there was also a 2-button layout in which there were punch and kick buttons, and the stronger you pressed those, the more powerful the attack was. So that was kind of interesting. I remember seeing this briefly in arcades. If you like Street Fighter 2, well, this is going to be disappointing. I like this. This screen shows the names of other Capcom games in it, like Avengers and Trojan, other ones, Commando. But this had okay music for its time, okay sound effects. Ryu is there. He's in all the other Street Fighter games. There's also Ken, and Ken is the second player in this game. You choose one or two-player game, and you can play two-player simultaneous play, but both players will have to face each other. There is also Sagat in this game. There are some characters that made it into other Street Fighter games. There's Birdie and I think Gen and Adon made it into other Street Fighter games. But you get the choice of selecting Japan or USA at the start. All that does is determine the order of enemies to fight. Now there are Ryu's Fireball, and there is his Hadoken, the Fireball. There's also the Hurricane Kick, and there's also his Dragon Uppercut. All of those are in this, but they're so hard to pull off. And to do a move, you have to hold down an attack button first. And then while that's held down, do the control, the joystick movement real quick, and then let go of the button. That's how you gotta do it. And I would recommend a little duration of holding down the button before you move the joystick, and then let go of the button. But it just doesn't work all the time. But this ninja Geiki is a pain in the butt. He's very he likes to throw stars from far away. It's not often that characters other than Ryu and Ken will have projectiles in this game. In fact, this might be the only guy that does. Oh, other than Sagat. But, yeah, it's really weird the way that you do the special moves, especially compared to Street Fighter 2. And like I said, you have to hold down either a punch button or a kick button, depending on which move you're doing. You hold it down, and it's best to hold it down for a couple seconds perhaps. Then you real quick do the joystick move, and then let go of the button, and you might be able to do the move. There are a number of enemies that are very hop-happy, and in that occasion you can duck and sweep constantly. Though this part, you just break these blocks, and when you hold down the button, you have to let it go for the timer to stop. So you can't just press and hold it down and expect him to do the chop. You have to let go, and then he'll chop. But try to get as many blocks by making the meter as high as you can. And And now we're going to face this guy called Joe. The order of, if you select Japan at the beginning, is Retsu, Geiki, Joe, Mike, Lee, Gen, Birdie, Eagle, and Adon, and then Sagat as the final boss. And if you choose... yeah, see, he's hop happy, and I'm able to sweep him a lot. If you choose USA at the beginning, you gotta face in this order: Joe, Mike, Retsu, Geki, Birdie, Eagle, Lee, Gen, Adon, and Sagat. And you'll get a bonus round after like every 2 enemies. If you play as the second player, Ken, and have the first player play as Ryu, then whoever wins that one will get congratulated by the other player, and they'll say, "I wish you well," or something. We'll look at that later. And then the second player just keeps playing, or whichever other player's left. And now this guy is Mike. He's a big guy. He doesn't look anything like his mug in the, before the fight starts. He looks like Balrog. And of course, Balrog in the US was supposed to be called M. Bison. He was called M. Bison in Japan because he looked like Mike Tyson. Yeah, the fireballs might be the easiest thing to do, the easiest move to make. And you just gotta get used to holding down the button first, maybe giving it a couple seconds, and then real quick doing the joystick maneuver and then letting go of the button in order to do your move. It still doesn't always work. Sometimes his fireball is all yellow and sometimes it has a blue circle in it. The graphics are pretty good for 1987. And now we have another bonus stage. These guys are holding blocks at certain heights. You gotta punch that top one. And I figured it out just in time. Doesn't matter how much time you got left. You'll still get the same bonus. And now we face Lee. Lee can be tough, but he's one of those hop-happy guys. So you might be able to sweep him enough and knock down his energy as you kick him. You will block many attacks when you're holding backwards. Well, I hope you have a happy Labor Day weekend. Hope you don't have to work tomorrow. I don't. Yeah, I remember seeing this once at an Oregon Coast arcade. I don't remember if I played it. If you played Street Fighter 2, and I'm sure you have, this is pretty disappointing. I mean, the voices are goofy. And it takes a lot of getting used to of the controls. They wisely changed it up for Street Fighter 2, so the moves are much easier to make.
Don't forget the American all over the world.
All over the world. Now I face Gen. And yeah, I think Gen showed up in one of the later Street Fighter games. He's very tough. There I did the dragon uppercut. Yeah, Gen has a very tough low kick move. There, that connected. Sometimes the moves will take a lot of energy off. A lot more than at other times. But I know the amount of energy you take off depends on the strength of the attack. But still, sometimes you can knock them down to almost nothing. I don't know how that happens. Ah, shit. Yeah, oh well. Just goofy English voices. I'll put in my initials. Into that Street Fighter by Capcom in 1987. And while you debate on whether you want to continue or not, a bomb will start to go off.
Game over.
But we will look at me picking up where I left off in just a moment here. And I'll finish off again here. Let me just speed forward to me beating him. I put on invincibility at this point. I just wanted to zip through the rest of the guys and just show you a little bit of what they look like. But the bonus levels will repeat. I'll go back to the block breaking one. But again, ooh, that was good. I broke them all. And then after 2 more enemies, you will go to another bonus round of the block breaking variety. And here is Birdie, and again, Birdie appeared in the later Street Fighter games. Maybe starting with Street Fighter Alpha. He's got kind of a stilted movement. He looks kind of goofy. Big British biker. And we'll just skip forward to me beating him. Doesn't look very beaten up in that picture. And now we face Eagle. Really bad golf pun. Birdie and Eagle. This guy has, there was my hurricane kick. This guy has tonfas. Let me just zip forward to me beating him. Oh, and there's my dragon punch again. Yeah, the fireball seems to be the easiest to pull off in this game. And even then, it doesn't always work. Over the waud. This time around, yeah, I think you have to jump and punch both of the top 2 and duck and punch the bottom 2. This plane flying to the next location thing was revisited in Street Fighter 2. And here is Adon, and he appears in later Street Fighter games as the understudy. He was the understudy to Sagat. He becomes his own fighter. Let's go forward to me beating him. Over the waud. There was a horrible Street Fighter cartoon based on the Street Fighter series in the 90s. Has to be seen to be believed. It's terrible. Here is Sagat. Fired a couple fireballs in his family jewels. And here's me having beaten him and beating Street Fighter.
Out of the back, you now play Street Fighter in the waud.
In the waud. Yeah, again, if you choose, depending on which you choose, Japan or USA at the beginning of the game, that's just determines the order of enemies, and they'll be different from between Japan and USA. But you will still finish the game either way with Adon and Sagat. King of the Hill. I sell propane and propane accessories. Tell you what. But that was Street Fighter by Capcom in 1987. The absolute first street fighting game. I guess for various platforms that this was released on, it was renamed Fighting Street, which is stupid. for its time, this had good music, good action, good graphics. The backgrounds are really nice, but the moves are really hard to pull off, and they fixed that up nicely in Street Fighter 2.
Game over.
And now we're going to look at Ryu and Ken fighting each other, and Ken is the second player.
USA.
And we have to fight each other right off the bat, because both Ryu and Ken started the game here. But yeah, they have the same moves as in all the other Street Fighter games. But yeah, you have to hold down the attack button and maybe give it a couple seconds, and then real quick, skip forward to me beating him, and then real quick use the joystick move, and then let go of the button. He wishes him good luck, and then Ken plays another opponent next. But that was Street Fighter by Capcom in 1987, the very first Street Fighter game. Well, this is Crazy Clown Radio saying thanks for watching Street Fighter by Capcom in 1987. Hope you all have a fantastic Labor Day weekend, everybody. I will see you soon with another video. Bye-bye, folks.